7:33 on Yarona FM. Good morning and welcome back to a place of human interest stories where we inform and educate. 2026 marks a historic milestone as the United States of America celebrates 250 years of independence. Beyond the celebrations, it's an opportunity to reflect on the long-standing relationship between the USA and Botswana. This is a partnership that has spanned decades and continues to evolve in areas such as diplomacy, trade, health, education, and investment. And joining us today is the ambassador to talk more about that and what the future holds for two countries.
Ambassador, welcome to Yarona FM. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, MOG. Good morning, Fox. I am delighted to be here on Yarona FM.
You know, we were so excited, but so is sports. We wanted you to be here with the US having won, but unfortunately, Belgium upped you guys.
Well, it was a very good match, and I think that we were fairly beaten. The good thing about sports is that it draws out the excellence in everyone, and I think that was the case here with the match last night. Unfortunately, we weren't successful this time, but hey, 4 years from now, I think that we'll learn from this experience and go forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the US butchered the game. We do not want to butcher your name. How do we pronounce your name?
Van Vranken. Van Vranken, yeah.
Ambassador Van Vranken. Now, Ambassador, beyond the fireworks, beyond the celebrations, 250 years, what does this say about the American story?
Well, I think that the most important thing that we take from this 250th anniversary of our independence is it's a chance to reflect on how far we've come as a country and where we're headed and the things that we need to achieve still going forward. I think the United States has a unique experience in the world. Certainly our revolution has been foundational. It's really important turning point for not only the United States, but for countries across the world. There are dozens of countries who sort of follow the United States in their pursuit of representative democracy. We're still learning. We're still becoming a more perfect republic. And I think that it's really a chance for us to look back at what we've achieved and look forward. And I think that we're at a turning point in history. Certainly, I look forward with a great deal of optimism and enthusiasm and anticipation because the things that we're on the cusp of a historic era, I'm convinced, an era of prosperity, an era of peace, and an era of great change. And I'm delighted that the United States is one of those leading countries and that we have good partners like Botswana.
Mentioning us as one of the partners, Botswana and the US have been partners for decades now. What makes this relationship sort of unique and different from others? And what is the current state of our diplomatic relations?
Sure. Well, let me address the second question first. The state of our diplomatic relations is that we remain very close friends, very much aligned. Across the board. I think that, why is that the case? The foundation of our relationship, it's not based on people, individuals or personalities. No. It's based on shared values. It's based on a respect for the rule of law. It's based on an appreciation that people need to be free and to pursue their interests. It's a testimony to the fact that we believe that our freedom is guaranteed when other countries are freed as well. And I think that people in Botswana recognize that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are foundational concepts for Botswana's democracy, for Botswana's republic. And it's based on those shared values that we have built an incredibly strong and enduring and resilient relationship between our people, between our governments. And I think that that's going to become even more stronger as we go forward.
Brilliant stuff. Now, looking at the partnership and the relationship that we've had over the past many years, what would you say some of the biggest achievements are of this Botswana-United States partnership?
How long do you have, MOG? I mean, I could go on all day with this, but I would just point to a couple of things I would say. One is, Botswana has really been an astonishing success story in terms of economic development in its 60 years. And it's hard to think about that now, given the sort of challenges that are facing the economy. But the reality is that the United States has been a partner with Botswana throughout that long journey. We still are. I mean, people don't really appreciate that the United States remains the largest market for Botswana's most important export, and that being diamonds. I mean, the way I look at it, about 70% of Botswana's diamonds probably end up in the United States as a final market. 54% of the world's gemstone diamonds are sold in the United States. So we're a huge consumer of Botswana's most important export. American tourists are also, very, very, really appreciate, what Botswana has to offer. And so visitors to the Delta, I was just there last week, in fact. I visited a couple of camps for a few days with my family, and there were other Americans up there. And so we remain an important component, and actually the largest source of tourist dollars for Botswana are Americans. So that economic tie, it remains really important. I think beyond that, we have a long history of collaboration in the health sector. We've extended that. Last year, we signed a $106 million health agreement to sort of carry on, mainly focused on the struggle against HIV. And again, Botswana has done the heavy lifting. Botswana has done really remarkable things to be on the verge of epidemic control for HIV. But the United States has helped to partner, and we've done that with technical assistance. We've done it through training. We've done it through, providing, sometimes some systems and other things like this. We've given about $1.2 billion, that's billion with a B, in the last 25 years to Botswana to bolster its health system and to invest in the health of the people. And I think it's paid off with the progress that Botswana has made in the struggle against HIV. We continue to partner there. A variety of other things that I can point to as successes. There are hundreds of Botswana in the United States right now at our world-class universities. There are thousands of Botswana all over the country, and frankly all over the world, who studied in the United States. And I think that our universities, our educational system has a lot to offer, and I'm delighted that Botswana has taken advantage of that as well. So, I mean, those are just three areas. I mean, I could go on, but those are three important areas where I think the United States and Botswana continue to be partners, and I'm looking forward to growing those relationships to the extent we can as we go forward.
Awesome stuff. Then can I just ask this though, as we've mentioned some of the things that we've done so well together, from what you have seen and from what you know, what do you think still remains an untapped potential that is Botswana, and where the US can help us?
Sure. I think the one that stands out in my mind is helping Botswana to diversify and develop its economy beyond the diamond mining sector, and beyond the places that I've talked about. The couple that I think are outstanding opportunities that I would love to see more American people and American firms involved with. One is in non-diamond mining activities and beneficiation. I know that this has been a focus for Botswana, for the people of Botswana, for His Excellency President Boko's government, and for His Excellency President Masisi's government before him. And this is someplace where I think the United States has a lot to offer Botswana, and we're doing what we can to help to develop that. There's one big mining company here already from the United States. There are a couple of others, both from the United States and from some of our allies, who are also active here, and we want to do what we can to speed that. We also are in 100% agreement with the concept of local beneficiation. I want to see more of the value of the products that Botswana produces stay right here in Botswana. And I've always been shocked by the fact, I mean, you probably know this, but I was surprised to learn that when a diamond, for example, is sold in the United States, only something like 9, 10, 12% of the value of that sale actually comes to Botswana. And that's because when the diamonds are mined, most of them go someplace else. They go to Europe, they go to India, they go to the Middle East before they go to the United States. I would love to see them go directly to the United States as finished products, and the value from that finishing work would stay right here in Botswana. So the United States wants to see non-diamond activity increase in terms of mining. We want to see local beneficiation, and the United States wants to be part of that as well. Another part that I think we see is in terms of infrastructure development. I would love to see American firms participate in this very exciting, very ambitious plan for developing infrastructure. And I'm talking about things like the power system, solar installation, other things related to infrastructure. I think that there's a real opportunity there for American firms, and our American firms do some of the best work in the world in these areas, and so I think that there's a real opportunity there.
And folks, I think something that we also speak to as a show and as a company and as individuals is also when we talk of beneficiation. The creative economy, I think the way we know America is through its culture, through the arts. I think there's also an untapped opportunity there.
No question about it. I mean, the United States has an alluring culture to people all over the world, and I think that's true here in Botswana as well. I mean, I'm still surprised. Not surprised, but it's interesting to me that if I go on YouTube and I put in Botswana music, inevitably I'm going to hear hip hop and I'm going to hear rap, and those are genres that originated in the United States. But there are people here in Botswana who've taken that farther. We've done some things to help to initiate that, but quite candidly, those types of activities happen without the governments getting involved, because it's important sort of people-to-people diplomacy. That's why I love when we're able to bring people from the United States to Botswana, or we're able to send people from Botswana to the United States, so they can see our culture and see our economy for themselves.
Brilliant stuff. So 2026 marks a historical milestone as the United States of America celebrates 250 years of independence. Now, beyond the celebrations, it's an opportunity to reflect on the long-standing relationship between the two countries. So this is a relationship that has spanned decades, and it continues to evolve in areas such as diplomacy, trade, health, education, and investment. Now, getting to the more technical stuff. So the United States announced reciprocal tariffs on Botswana's exports last year. Where do discussions with the Botswana government currently stand, and what should businesses expect going forward? And for somebody who doesn't know, when we talk of reciprocal tariffs, what are we talking about?
Well, the Botswana through SACU imposes certain tariffs on goods coming into Southern Africa. The reciprocal tariffs are meant to level the playing field, so that goods entering the United States from overseas, not just Botswana, have the same sort of tariff burden that goods being exported from the United States receive as well. I think it's a common practice. Many countries do it. Botswana does it in a variety of ways as well. I think that the real message is that the United States economy remains the largest in the world. It remains the largest destination for Botswana's most important products, and our trade relationship remains very, very strong and very vibrant. I would love to see us come to an agreement with Botswana to eliminate the tariffs, and those discussions are ongoing with the government. I'd prefer not to say anything more about it, because I don't want to build any expectations. But I think that there's a real opportunity here for Botswana to take advantage of the United States market. We do have a system under the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act that does allow goods from Botswana, as well as many other countries in Africa, to enter the United States with as low a tariff as possible. I think that still remains vibrant. I've been a bit disappointed, to be perfectly candid, even before the new tariffs were introduced, though Botswana was not taking significant advantage of that opportunity for good access to the best market in the world.
In conversation with United States Ambassador to Botswana, Howard A. Vranken. Did I say it correctly?
You got it perfectly.
All right.
Names are hard in Botswana.
What's the first Botswana word that you learned?
Dumelang.
Dumelang.
Yeah.
Do you know more than that?
Otsogile Jean. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. We can write a book.
There we go.
Let me teach you a new word.
Please.
Le re bolaile maabane.
Okay.
Yeah, it means your team disappointed last night.
And we are with Ambassador Vranken to discuss the significance of this 250th United States anniversary. Now, sir, you mentioned a couple of things that disappointed you in terms of being underutilized. Let's just expand on that a bit in terms of maybe scholarship, exchange programs, and maybe grants that we are not utilizing as Botswana.
That's interesting. Botswana has a very generous program to support students who want to study abroad, and many of them take advantage of that by going to the United States. The United States government, believe it or not, pays for dozens of Botswana to participate in exchange programs in the United States, and we send them, for example, under the Young African Leaders Initiative, to visit the United States for 4, 6, 8 weeks, primarily to get a feel for what our culture is and how our systems work. And I think that we're going to continue to do those types of exchanges. I think it's important that sort of people-to-people diplomacy is very, very important. I see other opportunities that people don't realize are out there, but are really important. I'll give you an example. There are some internships and some work-study opportunities that a number of Botswana take advantage of. There's a visa class, for example, for people who go and work in the hospitality industry. And I was a bit surprised that there were so many Botswana who do this, but they go and they'll do study here in Botswana, and then maybe they'll go spend a year or two working legally in the United States, and before they return back here. Hopefully they've gotten better skills, they've seen how we do business, and they're able to enhance their career prospects. In fact, I was just up at the Botswana Culinary Institute in Maun, and they have a program. They do two years of teaching, sort of classroom teaching, some practical things about culinary sciences, hospitality management, and then for a third year they send people to the United States to work in major hotel chains to see how we do things like that. Disney brings a lot of people from Botswana to work in the United States as well. I would love to see an expansion of those kind of projects because I think it's important for Botswana to see how other countries work, particularly in the United States, because we have such a high standard of work, of professionalism.
For an investor, be it an American or any other case, what would you say is Botswana's biggest selling point, and for anybody considering Botswana as an investment destination?
Sure. I mean, I talk to American firms and American individuals who are interested in the possibility of investment here in Botswana regularly. What I always tell them is Botswana is a tremendously positive destination for investment activities. And that's because of a fully convertible currency. I mean, that's a huge selling point. That's because it has a trained workforce that is hungry for work. And a good labor force. It's because Botswana has a culture that respects the rule of law. So when people sign a contract in Botswana, they follow through on it. They do what they're supposed to do. We also work with entities like BITC, for example, to help bolster and improve the economic climate, the investment climate here in Botswana. I think that there are some things that could be improved, but generally speaking, I think Botswana is a very solid and a very good destination for American investment.
Now, Ambassador, just in closing, a message you would like to leave with the people of Botswana as the United States celebrates this historic anniversary?
Well, I think the one message I would want to leave MOG is, and it's hard to think about it now because you open the newspapers, you turn on the TV, and you always see some scandal, or you see some reason to be negative. I'm exactly the opposite. I mean, I think that we have every reason to be optimistic. We, the United States, and particularly Botswana, I think it's important for young people to sort of accumulate and get the skills that they need to be successful in the economy going forward. But we are on the cusp of an era of incredible change, incredible opportunity, and incredible development. Botswana is going to be a part of that as we go forward.
Another big issue before we let you go, the big demand in bond for Botswana visas when we go to the US. Is that conversation being had? Should we expect that maybe there will be developments regarding that going forward?
Well, I want to be clear about this. The visa bond only applies to a small number of categories of visas. It does apply to many travelers, but it's only people who are going on vacation or things associated to that. But people who are going on exchange programs, people who are going as students, people who are going on some of the programs that I discussed are not subject to that bond. I would love to see the bond go away as soon as possible, but the United States has a crisis of immigration. We've got more than 10 million illegal people who are in the United States illegally, and we have to stop that. I mean, we have a zero tolerance policy. It is absolutely the right policy. We want everyone in the United States to be legal. The reality is that most of the people who are in the United States illegally actually didn't sneak across the border. That's what you usually see, is that somebody crossed the southern border. In fact, most of the people who are in the United States entered legally with visas and then stayed and started doing things that were not permitted under their visa. So we have to change that. The visa bond requires a payment for people who are receiving these visitors visas that is refundable. So it's not a fee, it's not a tax, it's not a charge, it's a bond. You deposit it, when you leave the United States, you get all of it back. So I think it's a fair, insurance that people will follow the rules and follow the law. It's unfortunate that a handful of people in Botswana with Botswana passports have chosen to go to the United States, and they either work illegally or stay longer than they should or do something else that's not in conformance with their visa status. We're trying to change that.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. So Fox is telling me time is up, but I think the ambassador can answer these questions in 20 seconds, right? New York or the Okavango Delta?
Me, honestly, I would take the Okavango Delta. I'm an outdoors guy. I think there's a place in both of them.
Yeah.
New York City is a really special city. There's no question about it. Unlike any place else in the world. But you could say the same thing about the Okavango, unlike any place else in the world. But remember, I just came from a week up in the Delta, so I'm still sort of intoxicated from what I saw.
And the last one, American barbecue or Botswana braai?
I gotta go with the American barbecue. I'm sorry.
Man.
I want to have a nice sauce, and American barbecue usually has a great sauce.
Man, Ambassador Vranken, thank you so much for your time this morning, and we look forward to more engaging and fruitful conversations with you as well. Thank you so much.
I look forward to it, MOG. Really appreciate you guys taking some time. Thank you very much, Fox.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Good.